Hi everyone, this is Alex for FNC Poker, and this is the second part of the video, Does Aggression Work in Microstakes? If you didn't see the first part, make sure to check it out. Remember, the rule is every hand that doesn't have showdown value by the river needs to be bluffed. So let's see how that works. Queen Jack suited. I guess I'm just gonna go for a limp, especially against under the gun. This might seem like a strong hand, but it doesn't play that well out of position. Definitely not the greatest board for us. We should be quite careful here and check back quite a lot. So yeah, gonna go for a check. Here, again, this is not the greatest board for us. So I think we probably don't want to go super thin. I'm just gonna check again and go for some bluff catches. And here we probably have better hands to bluff with. Okay, now it's time to go for a value bet. Here I'm actually considering calling because I think if he had a really strong flush, he would probably bet earlier. And I just don't think he has as many hands in his range that are worth the pot size bet. I'm just a bit worried that I might be beat by bluffs here sometimes. Nice! Queen Jack pretty easy open. Here, the same scenario. Although when we see Ace King X, this is such a good board for us that I probably want to start getting more money into the pot. So I would implement a mixed strategy here, going for some bets, some checks. And I check this back. I would probably bet way more often with the heart. On this other table, this is a pure call. We flop the pair. We see where this is gonna go. And here I'm just gonna start bluffing. The queen improves some of our combos. Jack 10 will be a check back here sometimes. Facing such a small bet here, we could go for a check raise, we could go for a call. Just gonna call this time. And here when the river is a queen and he already called the turn, I guess we should be quite careful. We're not really wrapping a lot of queen X, so yeah, in practice, I think I would probably give up, but remember, we need to bluff every hand, so we probably want to wrap here something like king, queen, queen 8, stuff like that. I'm gonna go for an overbet, and let's see what's happening. Here when he checks back, well, did we win? We won, he folded. Here, I think we can actually value bet. But it took me too much time to think and we don't have time bank. Also, I think these bad check bad lines will be quite over bluff. I think this is gonna be a pure call, and yeah, all I have to say about this. Oh, we lose to ace queen, which is fine. I think he lost a lot of value there. He should probably keep barreling the turn, or if he doesn't, he should at least value bet bigger by the river. Here, ace jack a bit, I mean not a bit, way too weak to go for a cold 4 bet. Snap call from the button. This tells us he doesn't have a very strong hand that's ever going to be 3 bet. So again, we're facing a recreational, but now we have a hand that actually has quite some good turns to barrel, and we really expect his range to be quite weak. So yeah, I actually like c-betting here more often than in other spots, and now we should probably be a bit more polar. I don't see any reason to bet a jack here. And by the river, although there's still some combos we can get value from, I think there's still enough bluffs for him to fire that we probably want to check and go for a bluff catch. But we run into trips again. Here we face a very small 3-bet, again from probably a recreational player. To this size, I'm always going to call this flop top 2 and get the money in. He goes for a half pot c-bet here on a board that he shouldn't bet all that often. I think I actually like raising because I expect him to be quite face up. I want to get value from overpairs and so on. On this other table, we love seeing a 3-bet when we hold kings. Gonna go for a 4-bet. We don't need to make it big because we are supposed to face a very polar range here. Don't think he's gonna have any 6-X or almost any 6-X, so I'm not super worried about that. I think we still have a value bet here, and he folds. With the kings, he just folded to the 4-bet, unfortunately. On this other table, we open ace-8 offsuit. On this board, depending on how wide the big blind is, we can go for some c-bets. We should probably mix, and this hand could go either way. Let's go for a bet this time. Here, although we should be, in theory, a bit more careful with our c-bets, if we range bet, people are supposed to defend very aggressively. They should probably raise 35 to 40% of the times in order to stop us from range betting profitably. I don't think that's actually happening, so yeah, I would c-bet way more often than I'm supposed to. Here, we now have an open-ender and 5 high, so I think I'll probably pretty much always barrel this hand, especially when he doesn't check raise. He's more capped than he's supposed to. We do get a fold, which is nice. Not as nice as getting a call and hitting the river and getting all the money, but nice. Ace queen offsuit, always an open, king 4 suited. Sometimes can be a 3-bet, and again, the bigger they open, the worse it's doing as a call, so I would have gone for a 3-bet here if this didn't happen. To this size, we are actually supposed to fold a lot. Ace queen is probably going to make it in our 4-bet range quite infrequently, but this time we just decide to fold. King queen off, pretty easy open. We flop an open-ender with a backdoor flush draw. I'm going to go for a mixed c-bet here, going 3/4 and checks. And this hand, especially with the diamond, it's going to be a bet very often. Jack 10 here is actually supposed to be folding quite a lot, or pretty much always, but because I think I have some edge against these players and I think they react badly against 3-bets, I'm going to go for 1. We get the call, and on this board we should probably be a bit more careful, especially in these tighter positions, because he doesn't have as many lower stuff. Our ace king doesn't hit here all that well, so yeah, I think we need to have some checkbacks here, and this hand is probably gonna check back quite often. Here we open tens, get called by the small blind. I think we should be a bit more polar here, so tens are most often gonna be a checkback. And here I don't think we get much worse to call or much better to fold, so I'm just gonna check back again and reverse straight. Here against the 1/3 bet with a pair and an open-ender, I think the only option is calling. I don't really see the point of doing anything else. And flop the river straight again. I wanted to teach you about bluffing, people, but I just keep hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting. Here we bet and he folds. Nothing too interesting. And facing a 1/3 bet here. I don't think King 10 is going to be in his range all that often. And I think they might level themselves into calling a bit too wide when they bet so small. So I'm gonna go for a small raise. Here, gonna squeeze this. You see we're really lucky with Jack 10 of hearts. Yeah, I really think people have sizing tells here, and I doubt he would bet King 10 on the turn or on the river for such a small size, so let's see what he shows up with. I think that I'm not sure how much sense it makes, but it's true that I probably don't really have King 10 in that spot all that often. I still think don't think he really gets called by worse ever, so I guess it's just paying more rake when we split. Here we can c-bet quite often. Ace 10 is going to be, again, c-bet pretty frequently. Here facing such a big squeeze. Yeah, I'm gonna call. It's a bit too weak to 4-bet this one. Nice to see a flopped set. Again, not gonna have the opportunity to bluff, just gonna go for a call. Here with 8-jack suited, gonna go for a call. Here we're actually gonna bet. Should we bet some ace-x as well for value and protection? I didn't want to check that back. I need to refresh my time bank, I think. Here with Jack 8, we face check back. And we probe here. We don't have the nut advantage here, I don't think so we can't overbet. But we need to find some bluffs, and I think this one's decent. Now facing a raise, just gonna fold. And now I think he's probably gonna be quite capped to stuff like ace queen. He could have some 2 pairs and so on. I don't think we want. No! Fuck! Ah! Yeah. I need to get more time bank. If I close this tables and refresh them, do I get more time bank? I think so, right? This is not really the most orthodox play. It's not forbidden to do it. But yeah, you shouldn't really do this all that often. I'm just mad because I checked back those jacks. Ah! Here, I think this is gonna be good enough to ISO, because when I see limping from cutoff and button, I just expect a lot of fold equity. And on this board, we flop a gut shot. He probably doesn't have all that many high cards, so I think it's fine to go for a c-bet here quite often, especially with these hands that have some equity and decent turns to barrel. When we get called, I think it could be a decent option to turn this into a bluff. Especially against recreationals that, against the recreational it tends to flop, to call a bit too wide. Maybe this has enough showdown value not to get turned into a bluff. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a check. And we could actually go for a bluff check raise. Because we block 2 pair, we block straight. And we also have some equity. Yeah, this session is all about bluffing, so why not? Let's try that out. Nice! Opening this on the small blind, probably the bottom of our opening range, but it's fine. Now a premium hand, always going to 3-bet this. In this other spot we can actually go for a c-bet very often. Here, this is a board we want to be quite careful with, and with ace-king I don't think we get much better to fold. I mean, I don't think we get better to fold almost ever. We could get some worse hands to call, but yeah, I guess it's a bit too mergy to c-bet. We can just go for a check call, that's fine. And here, I guess we should be quite careful at this point. This hand doesn't have much to go with it, so yeah, just gonna give it up. Here, definitely not folding. We still beat a bunch of bluffs, and we are drawing to the nut flush. In this spot, I'm thinking if we should go for some donks, because he's not really supposed to have offsuit ace, combos all that often. Oh, and he goes for a snap raise. Does he always have a full house? I don't think so. I'm just gonna call. Interesting that hand. When he snap raises in that spot where it's very easy for us to have a nut flush. I think we were probably supposed to fold. Yeah, I actually think that call was a mistake. So if I had a bit more time to think and my time bank wasn't going away so quickly, I think I would have found a fold. I don't like that call. And this is not results oriented, but what is he bluffing there with? Yes, 2x, we probably have to call this at least sometimes. Okay, let's get one more hand in and wrap it up. Is this going to be it? Alright, here facing a donk on a board that really doesn't favor him. I think we should actually be quite careful. Don't want to go for a fold just yet, but this is not a spot I would be looking to bluff or raise all that often. When he checks here, should we start bluffing? Here king 10 against these 4-bet size at 10 and I'm just gonna go for a fold. And here, I don't think he's gonna check a king all that often. So I'm just gonna start bluffing and, wrap a king by the river. Yeah, that worked. Okay, I thought that's gonna be the last hand, but... Okay. This is gonna be the last hand. I feel like we're gonna win a stack. Okay, maybe this is gonna be the last hand. Because we need to win a stack. Nah, I'm just joking. Never ever use that mindset. Okay. Maybe this is gonna be the last hand. Now I pressed sit out, so. Come on, lazy boy. It's time for us to make a stack. Alright everyone, this was it for today. The rule was bluff every hand without showdown value by the river. Unfortunately or fortunately, we got to hit quite a lot of boards. But I hope you get the purpose of this session. I think over bluffing actually works well in microstakes. We didn't really manage to do that much for today, so let me know in the comments if you want me to make similar videos for the future, or you can come up with suggestions of what kind of videos you'd like to see on this channel. Stay tuned for our next videos and make sure to like and subscribe this to get more fun and educational poker content from us.